I should be live now. Hi everyone, I'm CatRelatedPun, and today I'm going to be showcasing this delightfully janky Slavic house fever dream called Zenith and Maronarium. This will be a speedrun and or let's play of the Eureka Protocol mode, depending on how cooperative the game is feeling today. Just a quick warning before we start. Seizure warning, if you have issues with flashing lights, you're going to want to return in half an hour. I'm sorry, the title screen is already a lot, it's not going to get any better. So with that warning in mind, I'm going to start in I do have time up. 3, 2, 1, go. So this is a Eureka Protocol, and this is ostensibly a 2D side-scroller, but there are just a few quirks to mention. To start off with, you'll probably notice, if you look very carefully, there's just a bit of visual glitching on the screen, and if you're not careful, it can get in the way of seeing where you're going. So yeah, I hope you know where you're going. And in addition to being a feast for the eyes, this game is also a feast for the ears. You'll notice the background chatter and the fact that my character has 2 jump sounds. One of them is one of the most obnoxious beeps you've ever heard, and one of them is what sounds like a zombie saying the name of the emulator RetroArch. So yeah, this is Zenith. That's the first step. When you die, you fly off the screen. You're probably wondering how this game actually plays, and there are just a few oddities to the controls. For one thing, there is a bit of input delay. Not like an excruciating amount that makes the game unplayable, but just enough to throw you off. But beyond that, you'll probably notice that I am jumping no way near ledges if I can at all help it. And this is deliberate, because if you press a jump button remotely close to a ledge, this game will consume your jump inputs like I devour bacon at a breakfast buffet. There's a good chance it will just be gone. So let's try and not have that happen. I want to finish this as quick as possible so I can stop looking at the screen. Another fun quirk to mention that hasn't happened yet, but almost certainly will, is that sometimes the game just doesn't recognize when you've let go of the directional button. So you can be pressing right, let go of the right button, and you'll still be moving to the right. You can try and recover this by pressing the right key quickly and letting go again, and hoping the game realizes that you've done so. But if you see me just jump into a ledge or fly straight into an enemy, it's probably not me, that's probably what happened. So yeah. So this mode was entered in the options screen. You're probably wondering, what is the relation of this mode to the main game? And the Steam page for this game, it's $2 on Steam, highly recommend it. The store page describes this mode as a hidden tutorial that makes no sense. And I agree with the makes no sense part, but the tutorial part is dubious because the main game is not like this at all. There are 3 main types of levels. There are shmup levels, platformers that are very different to this. The sprites are much bigger, you can't run, and the physics are just very different. And these third-person maze levels where you look around with a mouse and step forward by clicking, it's non-intuitive at all. I am running this instead of those because the rest of the game is so difficult that it's borderline impossible, especially the shmup stages. You can turn down the game speed, but even on the lower setting, it's still really difficult. So yeah. Difficulty curve in this game is less of a line and more of a squiggle. There are really hard levels followed by really easy levels. This is an easy level. Next level will be the first difficult one. The reasons we'll get into. So we'll just make our way through this chasm. Here we go. So, alright, that was the directional button and my jumping mission. 2 for 1 there. So, if you're wondering what the story is with this game, I don't know either. The best I know is that this is like based on the extended universe of a Russian VTuber. Oh, that was a directional button issue, and yeah, this game can just sometimes decide you die. But yeah, if anyone remembers the game Kotal Nagori from last Big Bad Game-A-Thon, same dev. And yeah, that game is, I recommend watching that run because that game is also something to behold. So we'll just take this carefully because I should save myself there. That's good. I hope everyone had a good Big Bad Game-A-Thon. I haven't, I'm not up to date on runs. I'll need to catch up later. So another fun quirk of this game, your jumps are a fixed height unless you have a ceiling above you, in which case you do like a reduced height jump, which is great when you're trying to jump to platforms above you, like so. This bit is a lot harder than it looks, and we'll get through there, and we're through this level. Hooray! So, okay, hitboxes. I went straight through an enemy and survived for a good couple of seconds there. Yeah, sometimes you can just go straight through enemies, and other times you can get within a small distance from them and they will just kill you. So, yeah. But we try and avoid enemies just because we can't rely on the game not detecting that you're touching one. But this level is quite a bit easier when I don't die to snacks. Yeah, there is one mildly finicky section, but we'll get there when we get there. So these cages, hitboxes on enemies are slightly jank, but so are these. So if I try to jump here, it looks like I'm not touching the cage at all. I am. The hitbox is bigger than it looks. So we'll try and get through this carefully. Cool. And up here you'll see one of me with a knife. I do not know what the story of this mode is. It makes no sense. But yeah, we are through the stage. So this is the probably the hardest stage of the run, and there are multiple reasons why. One is because it's filled with these loop jumps, which are hard because of the low jump height when you're when there's a low ceiling. If you notice the music crackling a bit, by the way, that's just the game. Oh, that was my jump eaten. So hopefully the game behaves itself and I don't get stuck on this for 15 minutes. So enemies, every enemy walks backwards and forwards along specific platforms. Even though the sprites are different, the behavior is all the same. The boxes are the same as far as I can tell. But while they are always on the same platforms, the positions that they are in, it's not fixed. It's either global or RNG, I don't know. So another reason why this level is difficult is because it's really long, and it might not look like it, but you're actually timed on these levels. Come on, here we go. So eventually I'm going to turn green, and when I turn green, about 15 to 20 seconds later I die. So I'm going to turn green probably soonish. There we go, I'm green now. So I need to finish the level quickly. Alright, we're through the worst of it. I just need to run and we should be good. Hooray. Right, this is the easiest level of the run. It's basic jumps, no enemies. It's a nice break. So yeah, again, this game is $2 on Steam. I recommend it if you're into weird janky games. It's not a lot of money and this game is something special. so we'll get through here shortly. Here we go. So the sprites, there's no real coherency between them. So this level has a skeleton, and up here there's a red tadpole type thing. And then there's a big green spider, and here are some bees. Based on the generic tiles and all that, it looks like this does use a tile set, but between that and the really bespoke glitching and weirdness on the sides of the screens, it is a really interesting contrast. Yeah. So this is another difficult level, but for different reasons. It's not as long, but there's a lot of finicky jumps. Alright, that was the control directional button issue that I was mentioning earlier. So if we're lucky, the game will let me through this level. Just gonna take this carefully. That spikes box is very misleading. So we're gonna give that a good wide berth. Right, so thank you, game. And that was me going straight through an enemy. Zenith things. I don't complain when that happens. It is a nice bonus. So I try not to run on the stage where I can, just to get that little bit of safety. This looks pretty like easy and stuff, but it is surprisingly stressful, I promise you. For that reason. Please behave yourself, Zenith. Just trying to think what I haven't talked about yet. I might just have a bit of serious time to try and get through this. And it doesn't matter because game design I died. Alright. So yeah, hope everyone's had a good big bad Game-A-Thon. If you have a list of runs to catch up on, please post them in the comments. I will read them once I'm through this. But yeah. Right, that spike down there is scary. We wait for it. The best way to avoid it is to go into that nook there. Right, take this carefully. There's an enemy on the platform, next platform. I need to always remind myself of that, otherwise it will kill me. So I'm green now, but I'm through the worst of this if I can make my way up here reasonably quickly. And we're through. So this level's an interesting one because it's these long flat platforms, but some of them have enemies on them, and you do not know where they are. The platforms that they're on are fixed, but their positions aren't. So you need to take things carefully to make sure we don't run straight into them. Yeah, this level is, despite looking really basic, it's actually one of the more stressful ones. Where are you? Come on. There you are. Once we're past an enemy, we can just run. Because there's only ever one enemy per platform. Oh. Alright, here you are. Also, if you hear my character like roaring, that's me sprinting. Where are you? I know you're here. There you are. And that's why you don't run, because the glitching did a really good job of hiding that enemy. I'll wait here carefully just to get through this cleanly. There it is. And we're good. So we're getting towards the end of the run. There's a few levels after this one, but as far as I can tell, we're making pretty good time. I don't have the timer in front of me, but I haven't died too many times, so yeah. Right, so we'll avoid this eye. Be careful with that wall. That wall's sneaky. It nearly always kills me. So this is a nice free level. There's outside these gaps, there's only one set of spikes that can actually kill me, but they're unreachable. So yeah, enjoy the organ music. Cool. This is the second to last level of the game. The last difficult one. We can run through these cages. And for the rest of this level, there is this upper path that we need to follow. There is a bit later on where we can get back up, so if I fall down like that here, it's not a big issue. But beyond that point, we need to not fall down. And there are a bunch of narrow platforms, so this bit is actually not the easiest. Right, and now we are on the last level of the game. This has actually been a pretty good run. Went a lot better than I feared, so that's good. And you can tell it's the last level because the rambling lady from the first level's back. And that's time. Forget what button I bound it to. Is it that one? No, that's reset. Oh well, 17-ish minutes. So yeah, if I have a bit of time, I can show off a couple of things. What the rest of the game is like, a fun thing that I found. I'll see what the big bad Game-A-Thon people have to say. Do I have time to do a mini showcase? finish, I have a couple of things to show off because that run went pretty well. So to begin with, the game's resolution is whatever the window is. So you can do this. I am not doing anything with the stream, I promise. I am just playing the game in this resolution now. It is less than doable. I'm not going to go through the entire level, but yeah, that is a fun thing you can do with Zenith. So to briefly show off the rest of the game, here's an example of a shmup level. If I survive more than 10 seconds, I'll count that as a win. Yep. And here's some cool fire effects. Yeah. Yeah, so here's that. There are these platforming levels with delightfully big sprites. Not quite so that big, but still nice and big. And there are these levels where you look around with the cursor and step forward by clicking. I don't know. It's just, it is what it is. Yep, so yep, this is Zenith. And just gonna sign off now. But before I do, just a quick public service announcement. If you now have a headache, drink lots of water and go into a nice dark room with not a lot of noise, and that should help. And yeah, that is me. And time to stop.